What's up, Ceelo? Can you hear me all right, CeeLo?
Uh, all good.
All right, man. We about to run and get started, man.
Cool, cool.
We're letting y'all see the behind the scenes. Y'all say we always late. So now, man, you got to get behind the scenes. Appreciate y'all that's topping in. Los, I see you. Appreciate y'all that's topping in on X. It's on YouTube, Facebook. If you can, jump on YouTube. We appreciate it. If you can, it helps us a little better. But if you don't have a YouTube, stay on X. Stay on Facebook. DT should be on soon. Breeze may or may not. Got some house stuff to take care of. Oh, look, there you go. Look at DT right there. Peacecraft, I see you in the building. Los, I see you. Nick, I see you. It's good. Happy holidays. DT, you gonna call me on Christmas, man? Look, he trying to come up. He trying to stay in the dressing room. Got that fresh shape up when he was in the dressing room. There you go.
You was a pro.
Hey.
Got that fresh shape up ready for Christmas. I don't know, man. That look like a special moment shape up.
That's
Oh man. Yeah, man, we're gonna talk Commanders, man. We're gonna talk Commanders. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about Christmas. I don't know. We got Commanders. I really think Breeze did that to his wall himself.
wouldn't be shocked. Wait this season.
If that's the case, we might gotta have an intervention. Let's get to it, man. I know it looks like Ceelo is at a hotel, but he disappeared. I don't know exactly where he is. But Breeze, what's good, man?
What's good?
Oh, there you go.
Good. Is he back? Is he still
He
frozen?
trying to slide around the camera. Welcome back to Owning the Huddle podcast. Brother Deuce is here. He's here to defend his O-line. I'm getting sick and tired of you dudes and this fan base talking about my O-line. We gonna handle this today. Yo, what up? Welcome back to another episode of Owning the Huddle podcast as we're winding down to the last 2 weeks of the NFL season. We come to you again with another loss. We come to you again with another loss. Here we are. Ceelo was good, man. DT was good, man. How y'all feeling, man?
How do I feel? That's a very that can go so many ways.
Yep.
But I feel I feel straight, man. I mean, like we're gonna talk about it. Like what we seeing is literally what we're seeing every Sunday, even doggone Saturday. So that's the case.
What we're seeing is what we're seeing. Yep.
Unfortunately, after the Miami and Texas A&M game, the CFT later games were so bad, I had no choice but to watch the Commanders game.
Last year this time. You know what's crazy? Last year this time we was talking about sitting players so they can be ready for the playoffs. This year we're talking about sitting players so they can be ready for 2026. What a year. What a year. What a year. Yep, we had to bring in Jayden Lane is out for the year. Sam Cosme is out for the year. They both been put on IR. We brought in a couple guys. Running a D tackle because Goldman is out for the year. We brought in another guy. I'm trying to see what's his name. Jamal Agnew. Didn't he used to play for the Jaguars?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Remember him.
Wait, we signed him today?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't
from off waivers. Look, we signed 3 players off waivers
for the moves we made today, right? Like Cosby
or stuff, or player or off practice squads.
Yeah. So, we claimed Jamal Agnew off waivers from Atlanta. Shy Tuttle, D tackle, off waivers from the Titans. And we got back Jeff Driscoll off of the Cardinals practice squad.
Prodigal son is returned.
Revo is mad at me. Them boys battle according to him. Oh, what you do? Oh yeah. Nick the one that started that stuff with he ain't block you. I know my man Revo ain't block you. It's actually frustrating these players thinking they play at a high level winning one game in like 3 months. Watch the Throne 7 was good. It might be your first time commenting. If you have an X name, let us know what your X name. Because a lot of times, a lot of y'all got different characters for different apps. I don't know, like Ceelo. Ceelo is like, I don't know, man of the seas or something on Instagram. What's your Instagram, Drake?
Man of the seas is insane. Airland Sea, amazing. Hey, listen, I was trying to be creative that day. It ain't work. But y'all know, so YouTube changed recently to where it's now using your @name instead of your username. So if you notice, if you go to your YouTube account, Deuce, and then you're doing the show, you'll notice people's using it @name will go in, and it doesn't always correlate to their regular, like the names we all associate people with. So we got I don't know what happened and why YouTube did that, but they sent out an announcement like about a month ago about that. So that's why you may see some people in there that like don't look like the same.
Oh, like mine is okay. Where's on that 101?
Right.
Oh, get it. Okay. So I mean, like, y'all gotta tell me your names. Y'all gotta tell me what your own name was now, because like I don't know y'all ats. I mean, Nick, his is the same. Yeah, crazy, man. We definitely gonna talk about that. Because I don't think it's more so Mariota went down. I mean, I think that's part of it, but Dan Quinn too. Does this mean we see Burks on Christmas? Yep, we should. Nick, appreciate you. Thanks. Thanks so much. I'm still trying to get I got some new stuff on here. I don't know if this is good. $32 in the game. Yo! That's for old Madden on Sega Genesis, folks.
I'm not going to tell you what that sounds like because I deal with that every day.
This how our season has gone. This how our season has gone. That's our whole season in a nutshell, man.
Crazy word.
Oh man, Jags, Lions. Oh yeah, Agnew. I remember him. Yep, I think I remember him because he was the Lions. I think the Jaguars drafted him, right? Or was it vice versa? I don't remember. Oh, okay. Nico's Watch the Throne. All right, cool. Why would YouTube do that? That's crazy. Yep. See. Yep. I don't know why they did that. But here we are. Just make that sound effect whenever I contribute because that is me watching every Sunday. Oh, they go Lowe's for playing with the buttons. Yo, that gives me a story like when crackheads and stuff, or like when like homeless people. Not well. Let me see. Long time ago, right? You didn't want to just give people anything for free, so you kind of like make them do something, right? Like make them dance or do like a cartwheel. Or, you know what? Never mind. Thanks, Los. Appreciate you. Yeah, we ain't doing that too often. Yeah. Appreciate you, Los. Let's get right into it, man. We lost. We're lost again after being found 2 weeks ago. We ran away again. Something is wrong with the home.
Isn't that a gospel song?
Interesting. I don't know. Maybe it is. Sound like it.
Lost, but now we found. Now we lost again.
We lost again. Sound like a backslide to me. General game feedback. We start with you, Ceelo. We battled.
Man. We battled. Oh man. Yeah, didn't DK say something about that? Wasn't it? We what did he say? We lost,
but now
we're not lost. Now something. Yeah,
okay. Yeah. We're not lost anymore after That's that Broncos game.
And then we got anyway.
Yeah, so we got punished, right?
Yeah, I was at the game.
God bless you.
Yeah, bro. It was cold. It was cold. Like it was colder than probably what it should have been.
Was it colder than your heart? Had a deal with that? I just think
it was cold on many different levels, literally and figuratively. So I ain't gonna lie, man. It was a little bit of it embodied our season. You know, started out promising. It was weren't we up at the halftime?
Yep, 10-7, right?
At one point, or at that point,
10-7.
I mean. So I was like, can't ask much more. We got a backup quarterback in. We got a bunch of what's in. So they had their whole starting crew in. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, this is all I want. This is all I want is to be competitive. And if we would have went on and actually, lost like I expected to, I could have at least been cool with that. And then it just unraveled, unfortunately, with more injuries. QB2 went down. Johnny Newton had a concussion. I saw Deron Payne wobble off. I don't know if he came back. I think he looked a little wobbly as far as kind of foggy, maybe also concussion. I think Cosme was concussed. So it was just a really bizarre set of injuries on top of the performance or whatever. Like every game this year, bro, it's, the offense is just, it's a try hard offense. To be honest with you, not overly impressed with that Philly defense. They actually kind of was moving the ball a little bit with Marcus in there. Then they kind of stalled out, a couple times. And then on defense, it just same. Like I said earlier, we were up by halftime. We kind of contained them pretty well. Got some pressure on Jaylen, stuff like that. So disappointing that once Josh Johnson came in, that was my sign. That was my sign. Like, yeah, this is a wrap because Josh Johnson is not NFL caliber, bro. Like, so yeah, man, that's it. It was typical expected loss. I did a little pregame thing on TikTok. I just want to see the young cats in there playing, and McGee. We played getting this a little bit later. McGee played a little bit more. Some guys kind of played a little bit more. Still didn't see it what I wanted to see from guys like Ben Sennett and Medrano, but I guess baby steps. So
baby steps.
That's it. Like I'm talking like infant, like little, like baby, like I'm talking like newborn steps because we ain't moving and we're not moving real fast when it comes to seeing these young guys.
So DT, one of our favorite crash outs, Nick. Right, I don't know where Tim is. Tim probably he'll be here.
Yeah, where is Tim?
He'll be here late as usual. So Rio, shout out to Rio. He was on Riddle Radio today. Came chopped it up with us.
Too. Great interview.
He was on there earlier today. Check that out. It's also, I put it on the videos on the YouTube channel too. It's also on X. He said, because Revo did the hype joint or whatever, right? So he quote tweeted. 1, 2, oops. No, he said F draft position on 3. 1, 2, oops. LOL. So Nick said, yeah, what happened? Jeremy Reeves? He added Jeremy Reeves. So Jeremy Reeves said, we battled and we lost. That answer your question, Nick?
God.
So Nick said, I think we have two different opinions on what battle means. Only game I don't care about the draft pick is Thursday. So please give this damaged fan base a win and ruin another fan base's Christmas. Happy holidays. And then Jeremy said, you are 100% correct about that. Very different. God bless you and happy holidays. Did you like that? Because I see one like. That probably was Nick liking it. Y'all are insane, bro.
Crazy.
Oh, what's up, David? DT? What's your recap, man?
My recap is basically the same almost every single game we have watched so far, maybe outside of a few. Can't play defense, maybe slight spurts, but nothing consistent. Surprisingly, the kickoff, they were able to get a turnover. They did get a field goal out of it, though, didn't convert to a touchdown. I kind of felt like Philadelphia in a sense. They kind of played down to us until the second half. They had missed field goals, had missed opportunities themselves. But overall, I still wasn't really that enticed about the game overall. Yeah, the offense was able to move. I kind of expected our offense to move against their defense anyway. But I was just worried about are they able to convert when it mattered, but they didn't convert enough. Jordan Davis dominated the interior line all day. It was between Biotish, Cosby, and I probably had to go back and check and see did Chris Paul lose any, but it's all been the same so far, guys. I'm very curious. And then DQ punting it. And I understand you don't have your backup quarterback, right? Marcus got hurt. He got banged up already. Throw the interception. But if you're telling players, if you're telling your coaches that we're going to evaluate the rest of the season, that means you have to evaluate situations as well. And my problem is you're punting the football knowing that the season, we've been kicked out of the playoffs. You're already giving the game away. You're already submitting. And you want to sit there and have the guys fight. And when they got disrespected, when Philadelphia went for a 2-point conversion. Now, mind you, just keeping it real, out of all teams in the NFC East, Philadelphia is the one team that definitely don't respect us. None of the teams in our division don't respect us because of rivalry. But in terms of like disrespect, Philadelphia does not respect us. And you want to sit here and you having this misspeak afterwards of the game. And I know y'all seen that. I'm pretty sure y'all talked about it on Riddle Radio as well. Like, what are we doing? Why are we backtracking? If you're gonna tell our young guys, which we're barely playing, McGee needs to play more. If you're telling these guys are in this position to play, put them in situations that we need to see. I don't care if it is 4th and 20. Let's see what you're supposed to do in that situation. I don't care if it's 4th and 5. Let's see in that situation. Don't punt it with a guy who might not even be here. Like, I'm confused right now with this team. I'm confused with this regime. It's starting to look like the last regime we just had. Anytime you gotta come back and backtrack what you said.
Uh-oh. Listen, the 2-point conversion, like the disrespect, because I was like, hold up, wait a minute, is the kicker hurt? Like, is the kicker hurt? And then I kind of thought about it, right? Because a lot of times we hear how respected Dan Quinn is in the league. This is like the 3rd or 4th time a team did something similar to this season when they were winning. Right? Matt LaFleur, Ben Johnson, McDonald. Who else did we play? And I think it was another team. Of course, Sirianni.
Maybe Sean
and
Payton.
Somebody else. Payton. I think it was Sean Payton. I think it was Sean Payton, maybe. This is disrespect on a whole nother level. Like, this is like a personal disrespect. Like, why would you do that? Right? Like, why would you? I don't know, man. Like, that, to me, that's more than just it's an NFC East rivalry. And it's not like we've really rivalries in the sense where, like, we've been competitive. I guess last year really struck a lot of people the wrong way. A lot of people were upset about last year, but that 2-point conversion to me tells a different story than just disrespect as far as the game. I think Sirianni totally disrespected Dan Quinn. And remember on one of those touchdowns where it got called back, but after the touchdown, they put the camera right on Sirianni. He was like yelling across the field at our sideline, jumping up and down and like pumping his fist and all that. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what goes on, like behind the scenes or on the field or whatever the case may be, but that guy's really unlikable, bro. He's really unlikable. I'm sorry.
Should be a good Hard Knocks episode, right?
We're going to find out. I'm sure they're going to talk about it this week. I guess it'll be on next week's, right? I guess.
I haven't seen one of them joints. But
I don't plan on it.
We'll hear about it.
I was the only one. Like, I don't know. I have a hard time sitting there looking at how this team playing and watching it. I couldn't do it, bro.
Yeah, and like Peacecraft, he makes a good point. Not only the punts, because I'm thinking the first 4th was with Mariota, though, right? The one with like the 9-minute mark in the 4th.
Yeah, that was Mariota.
Yeah, that was with Mariota, and both of them we was like on our 44 with, like, I think one was 4th and 4, and one was 4th and 6. And like kicking from the 3-yard line, like you went like go for it, right? But I think there's a point to be made where, and I think the team understands this, right? He was playing not to get blown out. He's strategically doing things to put himself in position to be able to have an argument for being the coach for this team next year. What you think about that, Ceelo?
You saying does DQ have an argument of being a coach of the team this year?
Like he's trying to get his argument together, right? And being blown out by the Eagles again, wouldn't help his argument, right? Wouldn't add, I was competitive. I only lost by X amount of points to the Eagles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. I think we passed that point though, but it's possible. I genuinely think DQ is trying to win these games. I do. I think, kicking in on the 3-yard line, punting in these situations. I think he's he think this is week 3 playing field position, right? Like he doesn't have a QB1, so he's trying to adjust a little bit to account for the limited talent they have on the roster. So he's just trying to win a football game. I honestly think DQ is trying to win a football game. And so there's ebbs and flows to that, right? There's, it's 0-0 and you play in according to your strategy or your game plan. And then I think things change, right? And I think he probably like to DT's point, why did he kick that? I think he's like, man, they actually had a decent game plan. If you think about it, they had a decent game plan against the Eagles. If you think about the way those first half went. And so he was trying to just methodically, like, I'm not going to go for it on 4th down if I ain't got to. These guys can't score just like we can't score. To me, it felt like they were kind of confident playing against the Eagles. And it proved true in the first half. It was a competitive football game. I mean, the score says it, the stats say it. The time of possession was a little off, but it still was competitive. And then it got out of whack after towards the end of the third quarter with Josh Johnson. So things changed. But to your point, Deuce, I do think that they are really he is trying to win a game by any means necessary, because he cannot go into the offseason with 4 wins, 7 blowout losses, and trying to convince whoever that they were, they didn't lose the locker room and all this kind of stuff. I think they're trying to win a football game, and I don't disagree with that, by the way. Yeah. I'm okay with that approach. I just think that we have to realize these guys. I want to see young guys. I want to see guys that can maybe even be, more evaluated going into 2026. But they are not looking at it that way. They are still having practice every day. Best man wins, and they think Bobby Wagner gives them a better chance. For example, Bobby Wagner gives them a better chance than McGee. They're saying that. They're saying that. So, to me, we got a different issue. I think he just said, and we'll talk about this later, but he just said, McGee's giving me a reason to like really pay attention.
Gosh.
I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, I almost lost it.
Hold up. I could not believe he said that. I couldn't believe he said that. I couldn't believe it.
See, that's where I'm at, Deuce. Like, forget about the blowout. Excuse me. My thing is, can you do you know what you're even looking for? Can you evaluate talent? You're a defensive head coach. How do you not know who you have on the defensive side of the football field in the area that you're getting killed? Between Luvu and Bobby Wagner. So what? I have other issues with DQ.
See, the other problem that I have with this conversation as well is I feel like I'm looking at a completely different Dan Quinn coach team and Dan Quinn himself. Because last year, yes, the injury bug was not a massive issue as it is this year. We understand that. But the one key thing about this team was they were going to play with house money on any single down. They were going to be aggressive. They were going to attack teams regardless if you were like competing for the playoffs or you were a bottom feeding team. Why did that change this year? And not only it's been like this actually for the entire year. And we've been talking in spaces, we've been talking on Twitter, we've been talking on podcasts about, you know, DQ being aggressive, but this year that has completely changed. Is it because that they started to realize that this team is not the same as they had last year? Or what they did this year, trying to install some things differently, it didn't pan out. It rubbed people the wrong way. I'm not sure. But the message is not matching with the energy, because I feel like you need to be the same guy at least 1/4 of the time. I don't feel like this is the same DQ we're seeing, people. And that's why my whole argument from the last conversation we just had is, why is it that you're punting knowing that the season is practically over? These guys are not going to the playoffs, but these guys are going to be playing for jobs next year. We have 30 plus guys that's going to be looking elsewhere. We have key guys that's probably we're going to be keen to come back. We at least need to do some type of a service for them, knowing we need to see what the next 3 games going to hold for this team, because it's going to be a different team next year. And hopefully AP, when he was coming down in the fourth quarter, talking with Kinlaw and stuff, I hope he sees that there needs to be an investment on both sides of the football. But I need to make sure those guys are on the same, you know, wavelength, one accord, because this is a different type DQ energy I'm seeing right now.
Who is Skins fan? What's your real name, bro? Oh my God, I wasn't expecting that. Jesus Christ.
That came out of left field.
I was not expecting that. But yeah.
I was going to say, DT, do you think Adam and DQ are not on the same page?
Hey, man. At this point, I think I might lean slightly a little bit, because right, let's walk this through. You're the GM, right? The GM job is to observe the roster with the coach. They're looking at players every single day, whether it's free agency, whether it's a trade market, whether it's the NFL draft and scouting departments with their scouts, regional scouts, national scouts. These Senior Bowl invites, East-West Shrine game. Then they walk down what the scheme is. What is our identity? What do we want to do? But the problem I have is also, I think it's some type of battling of philosophy, because we understand, we talked about this too. When we see DQ, we know what a DQ type player at least look like. When we see with Micah Parsons, what we seen with, you know, back in the Atlanta days and stuff like that. Clearly, we don't have no guy. Marcus, what?
Yeah. Okay. Marcus Freeman ain't coaching nowhere.
Right.
No time soon.
But like, I just feel like there's something not adding up. Like,
let me ask you this. Like, when we talk about the punts, right? Because I think, like, to your point, Ceelo, I don't know, man. Like, the Dan that we know, he goes for it right there, 4th and 4 in that situation.
But does he do that within the current? Is that changing because of the situation around him, the injuries and so on? Like, I agree with you. He's a go for it guy, period. But I think he's like, these guys ain't that good, bro. I need
Yeah,
to win
but
by the
he's
margins.
done it this year,
Yes.
right? Like he's gone
He
for
has.
it in that situation this year, right? With the
Yes.
same injury issues.
Yes.
But I wonder if Witt is the DC and calling the plays, does he go for it right there? Because by him being the DC, is he like, nah, I'm not putting my defense in that position? Because I'm really, because to your point, the analytics is probably telling him, listen, you don't have the horses to get this first down. Right. And even though, bro, my sister is annoying. Like, I'm busy. Like, I literally text back 4 times. Hold on, let me take this, bro. Hold on,
man. Yeah. Y'all got a good point, man. We've been aggressive the first his entire stint so far, and it just hasn't been his MO this season as much as it was last season. But he has done it a few times this season as well. It just feels like this, like specifically last whatever it was, Saturday. It felt like he was ready to. I'm winning this thing the old-fashioned way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the conservative old-fashioned way where people punt it every time. You know what I mean? And they just play field position.
Yeah, because I think he's the D coordinator. He ain't want to be in that position calling the defense. I think that's as simple as what it was. Right? Okay. Because just like you say, the first time it worked, right? I think we got a 3-and-out, and then we came right back in that same position a little later. But of course, it was with Josh Johnson. I mean, he said, hindsight looking back, the first one maybe he should have. Like, bro, the indecisiveness is the reason why everybody calling you Ron. Maybe me accidentally calling him Ron for so long was telling you something.
I'm trying not to go there. I'm
just saying, it's like it's the double talk. And it really was magnified with the Jayden injury against Seattle.
Yeah, I personally did not like that. I know everybody think, oh, he was stand-up guy. He admitted he was wrong. I'm like, stand on business, bro.
Yeah,
it's football. He got to no other quarter to play. I mean, he got hurt, and he got hurt in a really fluky way. Stand on business. Yep. Everybody wants to apologize. Oh, he's being.
And then he come back right back when Jayden is healthy. After he say all this stuff about he's healthy, he's playing, if he's blah 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 blah. And like he scratches his elbow on the grass, get a little cut, and you're like, no, he's not playing. He could have came back in. It's my decision why he's not. More double talk.
Yeah,
and that's what's happening. I keep going back and forth with Quinn, right, about what to do in the offseason, right? I'm just going to wait the last 2 games, but it doesn't. It's who cares about what we think, what we feel, who cares about what the fans feel, the media, and this and that. If Adam Peters doesn't believe that you have confidence in yourself, that's bad. And it just doesn't seem like he's confident in anything that he does over the last month or so. He doesn't look confident at all, bro. He doesn't look like someone that can pull a team out the gutter in a sense where we are now. Because even though your quarterback goes down, you got to keep fighting. I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like he's confident in himself.
I always stated that Green Bay game was the first time DQ is facing some adversity. I remember they had the rib thing, and they handled that pretty well, right? The rib thing was straightforward. It was a random He fell, hurt his ribs. They evaluated it. He came back the next game. Didn't play. You could tell he was still kind of banged up, but they managed through that, and we won one of those games. Right, that was the Hail Mary game. But I felt like that Green Bay game, I knew at the moment we were there, Deuce. I knew at the moment it happened. It felt like, let's see how DQ handles this. This is the first true adversity. His QB is about to miss his first game as a professional. You lost your really, really exciting, DN and Dietrich Wise. You lost your, Austin Eckler. You lost I really thought that was how he responds is going to tell you a lot about DQ. And so far, it's been questionable, right? Indecisiveness, not knowing how to handle the Jayden thing a little bit. He was you can tell he was uncomfortable with that situation. And then you have the defensive issues. He's dealing with the defensive, his staff. What do I do with that? So he really struggled in adversity. And that's something that you got to think about going forward, because we're going to face it again. Trust me, it's going to happen again. Someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get fired, or at least be assumed to be, things like that. So I'm really curious on how he ends the season and how he can rebound.
Yeah, it's going to be something to see. I mean, shoot, not even a season. Like this week, right? Like, how is he going to handle this week? Like, you definitely don't want to get blown out by the Cowboys on Christmas. That's what you definitely don't want. So, and we've talked about the injuries and how the injuries definitely plays a part into this season, right? When you look at position groups, I mean, at one point during the season, we had Robbie Chosen and Chris Moore as wide receivers 1 and 2, right? And both of those guys, I mean, Robbie Chosen was cut for a kicker, right? And then once your wide receiver room got healthy, Chris Moore was cut. That goes to show. I mean, he was leading targets for like 3 or 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about injuries, we talk about other teams' injuries. There's context to it. You have to look at it like these are position groups, multiple position groups that's being hurt with injuries. I think we had like $69 million worth of injuries or something like that. We're the most. We have the most combined games of injured players that are starters by far in the entire NFL. So all those things do matter. But even with all the injuries, there are 2 games that we probably still should have won, right? And a lot of that came down to coaching, right? Even though this is the NFL. It's very, like people say, it's very hard to go to the Super Bowl. It's very hard to go 0-16. It's very hard to go 0-16, right? And that's why, like, any given Sunday, right? But is the team competitive? Are they fighting, right? Are they still trying to make plays? Are they still trying to create turnovers? Are they still wrapping up and tackling, right? That's when you can tell, like, this is a coaching thing. This is a motive, like, especially if you're a motivational coach. You're not an X's and O's guys. If you want to take the reign as a motivational coach, a culture guy, then you have to fall on that sword when your team is not competing, when it seems like your team is not locked in, not just with basic X's and O's, but just not locked in as football players. And there was a stretch of games in the pocket of the season where we didn't look competitive. We looked like we were just out there quitting, like they didn't want to play. And this is what happened in the fourth quarter yesterday. Again, Saquon Barkley, right, starts slow and then has a couple big runs. Right? I think he had 69 yards after a missed tackle yesterday. I mean, one of his biggest gains yesterday, he was actually touched in the backfield, but he spent right out of it. Right? Not playing players or the type of defense that, like, all of those things matter. The clock management, right? I mean, what we had before the half yesterday, was it like 18 seconds or something like that? Mm-hmm. Like, you had a timeout. I mean, this is not the first time. Like, this happened multiple times this year when, like, you had this is the NFL. You start on the 30, right? Like two big plays, you could be in field goal range. 18 seconds is a whole lot of time. Right? Especially when you have timeouts. So when it comes to that DT outside, because this is the thing. His excuse is going to be injuries, and Adam's going to be coming from coaching. What do you think? Like, what do you think? Like, it's going to matter at the end? Is it going to be injuries that keeps Dan Quinn here, or is it going to be coaching that gets him fired?
It's going to be coaching. I mean, it's going to be coaching. I mean, like, you brought almost everybody back from the NFC East Championship game, with the exception of maybe a few spots. And the defense, look, we talked how bad the defense was the first year, you know, when we went to the NFC Championship, but they at least at multiple points in the season look competent, whether it was competition, who they played or not. But even in some of the big games, they were able to make plays. Frankie Louvu was outrageous. Dorrance Armstrong, when he's healthy, was able to get there. Like, they were able to make plays. This year, this defense has regressed badly. Mm-hmm. There's literally only 2 players you replace. Well, 3. 3 players you replace. Kinlaw replaced Allen. Amos replaced Booty Juice and Michael Davis. Then you had Will Harris replace Jeremy Chin, who, you know, a lot of us debated about bringing Chin back. Mm-hmm. But majority of that defense is the same. They're getting dog walked almost every single week, unless we play the New York Giants. Then the offense. The offense is more of a microcosm itself, especially with the whole how they handled the Terry situation and also how they handled the skill position overall. Noah Brown has been banged up. Debo has been solid, I would say, this year. Terry, you know, he has issues. He was all day. Everybody was saying the Fives killed the whole season, but I disagree. But I think it's really coaching, man. Like, you got to go out there and at least look competent. We don't look competent. We look as bad as the New York Jets at times. We look as bad as the Las Vegas Raiders at times. And we beat Las Vegas. Like, after what we did the year before, and I understand, it's one thing to understand there could be some type of regression. Yes, that happens. Parity is real. But to look like this every single Sunday, and majority of the same players that helped you to the NFC Championship got you there, and now you're here. It gotta be coaching, man. Like, I'm on a very thin ice with DQ, dog.
Yeah. Rel Deuce, because they, you know, Ceelo was telling me they changed the way that we see the YouTube. They changed it to the @ Let me know who this is, because I don't know y'all by y'all @ not yet. Anyway, yeah, I believe that. Like, I believe like we would have competed. Like, Josh Johnson just, oh my God, he was just horrible, and I think the team knows that. Right, like the players know that. They know he's horrible. Right, I mean, like, you can see in the huddle. I don't know if y'all saw that, but in the huddle when he came in, it was like giving everybody a high five. Debo ain't even giving him a high five, bro. I don't know if he saw it or not. Like, I don't know. I ain't trying to say nothing, but he ain't give him a high five.
Did y'all see the Terry pass? You see Terry after he threw that pass? Terry was like, "Hey, yo."
Mm-mm. And at the end of the year, receivers ain't going for that. They ain't extending their bodies for they not doing that, bro. Like, they probably went to them dudes like, nah, this ain't gonna do it. And we know we love Sam, but we know he ain't gonna do it. Like, get somebody else in here. At least they'll be familiar with Jeff Driscoll, right? which we all wanted him to bring back if he didn't want to go a young quarterback route. We was like, bring Jeff back. Josh Johnson has been horrible since we seen him in COVID or whenever that year was he was with us. He was horrible then. I think he has one win in his entire career, right? I don't know.
Like that.
And that was with us. You know what I'm saying? So just think about that. That was years ago. Who else was going to sign him in the offseason? This is the type of thing when it comes to roster building. You can't have players like that on your team, bro. There's a quarterback somewhere on somebody's practice squad. Actually, it literally was because we just got one. And Jeff Driscoll. I do not want to see Josh Johnson, bro. Give me Driscoll and Hartman. And all y'all out there that's mad that Sam Hartman is not getting the like did you see him in the preseason? Come on, bro. We know why he's still on the team. Y'all need to stop acting like y'all don't know. His PR team is elite. Be where Jayden is. It's just as simple as that. So I don't know about Dan Quinn. Because keep this in mind.
Yo.
What happened? What you see?
Bro, I just listened to a video with Kicker. Yeah.
Oh.
He over there cooking Isaiah Likely.
Oh, that's the video with Isaiah Likely walking away from or whatever. But like I couldn't understand. I tried to put it in the chat. Like, what was he saying? I thought I put that in the chat.
That's what he said.
Oh, the quote. Oh, okay, in the quote. I got it. Okay. I get it. I don't know why I didn't see that at first. That's insane, bro. But yeah, man, like remember, and this is another thing why I think Dan Quinn might not be as safe as some of us may think. Two things. Was it Dan Quinn and the coaching that got us to the NFC Championship game? That becomes a real question when you having this conversation about should they keep Dan on that, right? Like, what are they missing, right? Because the culture thing is always good for the first year or two, right? But brotherhood, culture, all that stuff doesn't equal to wins, right? I mean, the Patriots had horrible cultures, and the owner ain't like the coach ain't like the star coach. Like they had issues, and they got multiple rings, right? They said over in Kansas City, what's his name? Eric Bieniemy used to fight players or whatever the case may be. They got multiple championships, right? So there's no right or wrong way in a sense where if you win it, you're going to win. I mean, look at the Eagles, right? Yeah. They've been firing Nick Sirianni every other year. It's always drama with the Eagles, right? So this culture thing doesn't equal to winning, right? Winning equals winning, regardless of how you look at it, right? So last year, who was it? Was it Five and Cliff?
Yeah. Was
it Dan leading the ship? Right? Because this year we see you don't have Five, and we see what happens. Right? We got to go back to the beginning. Ben Johnson, McDonald, Slowick, Weaver, Raheem Morris, Dan Quinn, and the Jets head coach. I just saw his name.
Glenn.
Aaron Glenn. He wasn't even top 5 on Harris board, AP board, Magic Johnson board, The basketball guy board, Choi board. He was not top 5 on none of those people boards, bro. Rio said earlier he was he was the 5 at the club. That was the last one left at the bar.
Man,
I'm leaving here with something.
man,
Think about it.
come on, man.
Right? Because we've been talking about this. We've been talking about this here on Reader Radio for like a month about the coaching search. Originally, we saw him at the airport. We did not think he was going to be our head coach. But because of what they did last year, it was a beautiful story. A head coach nobody wanted. A team nobody wanted to play for or the coach for or whatever. Right? And they get to the NFC Championship game. So we all have an apology letters for Dan Quinn to end up right back here to that time where. So I ask you all and everyone in the chat, comment. Wherever you are, comment. If you're on X and Facebook and you can get over to YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to YouTube. Please come chop it up with us over on YouTube. If you don't have a YouTube account, that's cool. Stay where you are on X and Facebook. But wherever you are, out of 1 out of 10, how safe do you think Dan Quinn is? DT, Ceelo, one of y'all can stop.
I think in terms of his safety of this job for 2026, just 2026, right?
Yep.
So 11.
It says 9.
11.
11.
Yeah, he's very safe. I think
8.5.
I think he's very safe. I think despite him maybe not being the first choice, I don't see them after 2 years moving off of Dan Quinn. I think the NFC Championship game has bought him a little time, and that is going to carry over into 2026. They're going to chalk up 2025 to injury, schedule, and some poor luck when it came to things coming together. So to answer your question directly, I think he's 110% back in 2026. It won't even be a conversation. What I do think, though, is my theory is the offensive side of football was very much heavily Adam Peters. I think he had a lot of input into going out and finding an offense that will fit the type of quarterback they were looking for. Because at the time, it could have been Jayden, it could have been Drake, it could have been, fortunately, it could have been the other dude from Michigan. But so they wanted a coach like a Cliff to go and do that. And I think AP had a strong say in that. And then the defense was all Dan Quinn. I think that may shift a little bit. I think there can be some other opinions about how this defense is going to move, because everybody keeps talking about speaking of coaching. Everybody keeps talking about Joe Witt. What's happening with Joe Witt? I don't care, because the defensive coordinator should tell you what's going to happen with Joe Witt. We should not be telling the defensive coordinator who yet to be hired who he should keep. Let him figure that out.
Right.
But so. So I think he's safe. I just think that there may be some influence on what happens on the defensive side now, which really is sad, because DQ is a defensive guy, and I think we all agree that he's a good defense. He was a good defensive coordinator. He had a very good stint in Dallas and a good stint back in Seattle. A little questionable in Atlanta. I think we like DQ as a defensive guy, so I'm very disappointed in that anyway. So I think the defensive side is not going to be in question.
Yeah.
Where you at? DT? 1 to 10.
Well, I'm the same way. You know, DQ's going to come back. So right now, I'm going to say, as of now, I'm going to put it at a 6. I do think there is going to be some tension this off season in terms of establishing and putting a roster together to be better and more competitive, getting more depth, and they need to add playmakers around Jayden. They need to add a guy around Terry. They need to get younger at tight end. They need to get younger at the wide receiver spot. Got to get another running back to go with Cross Camara. I do like Bill. There's some things he could work on, but just the defense overall, it's like I think everybody is going to be happy wherever they do with offense, but this defense is where it's going to make or break DQ's time in the nation's capital.
This is the thing. So, okay, so the AP part. All right, no way AP is on the hot seat. He gets a second chance to hire a head coach. Look at Ryan Poles in Chicago. He got a second shot. What's up, Day? How you feeling, man? Appreciate you for coming through. Nothing has been proven in Chicago yet. They talking about the GMs. If we've been IU, I don't know if we want to talk about IU today, but so when it comes to AP, this is the thing that he has to think of. Because he's been evaluated too, right? I'm sure Harris is like, hey, look, go make the decision about the head coach. That's you make. I trust you to make that decision. Does he want, because if he brings back Dan and they are not successful, I think that puts AP on a hot seat. But if he fires Dan and it brings in another coach and they not successful, I think that gives him that still gives him another year. Yeah, y'all see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What you think? Because I think if he takes Dan and he goes into this next year, I think he's attaching himself to Dan this season coming up. And I'm not sure if he wants to do that, because listen, Dan ain't playing his players either. Not all of them. I don't know. What y'all think, man?
I think to an extent he is attached to Dan Quinn. I'm not saying if Dan Quinn gets fired, he needs to go. But that's why I think the leash is going to be a little bit longer for Dan Quinn. I think people are going to be disappointed about how much time or the grace that DQ is receiving. Because I think there's a correlation there. The Adam Poles thing is a bad example. Adam Poles, if you didn't know, came into a situation where he was told who the next coach was going to be. He did not select Matt Eberflus.
Yeah, I remember that.
So they already had candidates. They already interviewed. They hired Poles, and then Eberflus just like, hey, yeah, you're not going to have this one. We got it already, and that was the ownership group or management group. In this particular case, I want to ask y'all this question, going back to this connection to head coach GM. The fact that they needed they needed like a cadre to go interview these coaches, was that kind of good or bad for AP? Why you
say it again?
The fact that they needed the owner, GM himself, the owner, was it Rick Spielman? I think was his name.
Yeah, Spielman was Bob Myers.
Yeah, Bob Myers.
But I thought they was in it more for the GM hire.
No, they all went on that plane to go hire Ben Johnson.
Okay.
And but no, not sure about the other candidates, right? And my question to you is, if they had all this support, because remember Ben said, you guys are basketball guys. I'm not working for y'all, you know. And then Matt, the reading or the tea leaves for Mike McDonald was he wanted a more senior general manager. He didn't want to work with a new guy. So whatever. Do y'all think that bringing all those people along in the process kind of cut his what off, and not giving him a lot of cachet with these coaches to show him like, I'm the GM, I'm the guy you need to be responsible for, therefore you need to be interviewing with me, I'm the voice of the room, or not, because I feel like that's kind of how it looks as an outsider when you have to have your owner and all these consultants to help you go and hire your first big hire. And here we are. That could be looked as a good thing or a bad thing or no thing. I just think it's interesting that now we're talking about DQ being connected to AP. And I'm thinking that's kind of maybe why, because they settled on DQ. And I think he wants DQ to be successful.
Yeah, so, I think I don't know. Does that make sense? Right? Like, yeah. But I don't know how regular that is. Right. Like, I don't know. Well, common. Like, I don't know how common that is, right? Because like Ryan Post, for instance, the other guy, what's the other guy named like above Ryan Post or whatever? Yeah, whoever that guy is, like he went with him on all, and like he was a part of the search also. And don't forget, some teams hire like law firms or whatever to help with searches and stuff too. So I don't know how common that is, but as an owner, I think you're going to be in those rooms some type of way. And the thing was that made the room so crowded is because he doesn't know anything about the NFL. Right? Like Harris doesn't know anything about the NFL. Right? So Rick Spielman does. You know what I'm saying? So like he was instrumental in the AP and all the other things. The Dan Quinn hire just like you said, but I mean I don't know how common that is, right? Like I don't know. And the McDonald thing, the senior leadership, I think, was one of the things. Also, the years, right? We didn't want to go to 6 years, but Seattle was willing to go to 6 years for McDonald because he got a 6-year deal.
Yeah.
Well, Nick said AP didn't talk to McDonald. Who talked to? Because I know they talked to him on the phone. I don't know if they actually met in person. I know they whole back and forth thing. But the McDonald thing was a little different because his wife was a former cheerleader for the Redskins.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So like all of that kind of played a part.
Big Ten guy. He's talking about Kevin Warren.
Yeah. Yep.
So to answer your question, Ceelo, it's not like we haven't seen these type of things be done before. I would probably say it wasn't as talked much about because a lot of those teams didn't have the big names in terms of being assembled like we did. Like we literally had Bob Myers, who was on ESPN for the NBA pre and post game shows. We had Rick Spielman, who's coming from CBS. We had Magic Johnson. Obviously, I think the name is really why it garnered so much attention. And honestly, unfortunately, we can't really know until we actually hear anything about it. To be fair, I still feel like the process was still good because, like you said, Josh Harris, he was an NBA guy. He dealt with other stuff. Him going to the NFL is an entirely different thing. You have to hit on getting the right guy. Now, questions obviously going to be, did we get the right guy? I mean, obviously, we all know who we preferred during the time of searching for the coach and stuff like that. Some wanted Ben Johnson, some wanted Mike McDonald. Some people wanted that new up-and-coming coach. We didn't want to retread. But we won't really know, honestly, until we hear out the horse's mouth. So I think I'm kind of at a neutral. I mean, it don't bother me if that they did that type of procedure to search for the next guy.
No, it doesn't bother me either. I was just trying to kind of back into Deuce's question, like, is AP connected to DQ, and does he feel like any kind of attachment there, or is he given the grace to, hey, if it's not working out, you can move on? And I think, just based on all the conversation, I think he's going to give DQ a little bit of grace here, right? I think he's going to give him some time to get this thing right. I don't think he is judging him as harshly as we probably are. And I think that's part of the reason why. That's all. And I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not a big fan of changing over coaches and stuff like that either. So I can see both sides of it. I don't know, how the masses feel about that.
Raheem Morris was like 5th on the list. I mean, they wanted Weaver more. I think what the Raheem Morris thing was, they missed out on Ben. They missed out because this album, right? Ben chose the Bears. McDonald chose the Seahawks, right? The Texans paid Bobby Slowick more money to stay as OC. And Weaver decided he didn't want to be a head coach. He just wanted to coach defense, and he went to Miami. So it was Raheem Morris. We like, hey, look, we need to know something because we're missing out. And we needed to know something. And then he was so he's like, take his name out of the hat or whatever. He's going to go coach to Atlanta. And then Dan Quinn was just left. Like, he was just left.
Yeah, they didn't even send the PJ for him.
No,
man was commercial.
Like he had to get on Spirit.
Man, I didn't personally see him, but I saw the picture. That was Dulles Airport. I know what that airport that is. He was in Dulles.
Right. So also, like, to your point, let me see. Nah, he didn't get hired really early. All this stuff kind of happened right after the. I'm trying to go back and think about it, but like it made too much sense. Like, he wanted to go to Atlanta. So like, and also to your point about like Seattle, they had a GM in place already. Right.
One of the best
Bears
GMs
had
in the game.
Right. Bears had a GM in place already. Right. Even though the record itself doesn't show it, but his drafts has been pretty good. Right. His free agency, his trades have been pretty good. They had a GM in place. The Texans had a GM in place, even though Slowick went back. Right. The Dolphins. Right. So, like, of course, like, and then we got a new GM, a new owner, like, everything is new. And then let's not talk about the rosters, right? Seattle had a talented roster. The Bears had a talented roster. The Dolphins had a talented roster. The Texans had a talented roster. So, like, everything that we're playing, all we had really was it's a new slate, and we got the second pick. That's all we really had to offer in a sense of trying to lure these head coaches to come here. And we trying to start something new.
True.
So when you look at like all the optics, you can't get mad that they chose to go to those other places. Because it was better for their careers. Right? Okay, go. Gus got the timeline. He said Atlanta hired Raheem Morris on January 25th. We interviewed McDonald on January. Did we really interview McDonald? On January 29th. And Ben Johnson pulled out on January 30th. Listen, man. I don't care how you look at it. Dan Quinn wasn't top 5. And I think that matters going into the offseason because ain't nobody want him originally. Maybe he does get grace. I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Yeah.
But the one thing I do when they had these conversations, what if he starts the year in the hot seat? Why would Cliff stay? Why would some of these other guys that can go coach and go to other places and get promotions to other places, why would they stay if a coach is on the lame duck year and they got opportunities now to go somewhere?
Do we know the contract terms? Like, is it a 5-year deal?
Yeah,
Probably.
Dan Quinn, like head coach money is it's easier to find than coordinators. But like for the years, I know Dan got 5 years.
Okay.
The coordinators got 3. So they're going into
Third year.
their third year.
Okay.
So I don't know, man. But yeah, I'm not upset. Like that's why I keep going back and forth. Bringing him here next year. I think a lot of it is. I think whatever they decide to do, I hope they're having those conversations now, right? Because at the end of the year, y'all don't want to be having that interview together. You want to have that interview together like y'all did at the end of the year last year after the NFC East Championship game. Because you want to show that, if he's going to be your coach, you want to show that right out the gate, right after the season. You don't want to say, like, you don't want damn like, yeah, well, I'm going to meet with them tomorrow and see how they, like, you don't want any of that at the end of the year. Like, you don't want any of that. You want to know for sure. Like, if Dan doesn't know after the Eagles game, if he's the coach for next year, we got a problem. So, before we get out of here, I do want to. Who are some guys on a current roster that you all want to bring back? Let's just go through a few of them.
Let me put my list up.
Yeah, we'll go off your list. You got the main list, Ceelo, for the 1-year deals.
Yeah, I was gonna pull up the 2026 free agents.
We pulling up. We talk about one player. We talk about overall.
Go through a few. This is gonna be a quick conversation.
All right, what we got? All right, who's some people y'all want to bring? All right, Nick said you want to bring back Burks. Yep, we ready. Let's go.
All right. So for me, this is one player or is like 3 to 5?
Yeah, 3 to 5, whatever you got.
All right. So players that I would want to bring back. I would like to bring back Nichols, Burks, I would like to bring back Chris Paul, extend him, Jacob Martin, and I'll probably bring back Noah again. Everybody else can really bounce.
All right, what you got, Ceelo?
Didn't say Tunzel because I feel like they're going to extend him.
Yeah, I mean, he's on a contract anyway. What you got, Ceelo? I don't think he gets a big payday, but I do think he gets a 2 to 3 year deal. But I wonder if he. But I think the issue is do you think he's going to test free agency? Do you think he's going to test the market? That's the question with Chris Paul. Is he going to test the market? But I definitely like Chris Paul. I would love to bring Chris Paul back. But yeah, man, that's where I'm at. Like Noah Igmiani, Treylon Burks, Chris Paul. This is the thing with the edge rushers, right? This is the thing with the edge rushers and like Von Miller, Dietrich Wise, Jacob Martin, and those guys. How many edge rushers we usually on the 53?
Let's see.
Is it like 5, maybe 4, 5?
In a 4-3, I would think of like 4.
And mind you, they have a couple of them listed in the outside linebacker.
Yeah, so like edge rushers, let's count them too. Like defensive end as far as like edge rushers.
So,
The Dietrich Wises, the Von, Jacob, Preston, Dorrance, Baptiste. What's the other kid that got hurt? I forgot his name. So let's say like 4 or 5, right? Out of those 4 or 5, I only want the 2 30-year-old guys. So you got Dietrich Wise if they won or whatever, Von Miller, Jacob Martin, whatever, right? But I need Dorrance Armstrong, which is what? It'd be 27 when the season starts.
Yeah.
27, right?
mhm.
And 2 young guys. Somebody in free agency that's 26 and younger, and a rookie. I don't want no old guys at the top of the depth chart when it comes to these edge rushers.
Oh, you were thinking about Javonte, John Baptiste.
Do I say Baptiste? Who's the other
You
guy?
did? Okay, you did. Okay.
Who's the other kid that got hurt?
So man, I don't even know. General Hospital in this job, man.
Right now on the IR list, I only see John Baptiste, Dorrance Armstrong, Dietrich Wise, and not a yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
At least on this list, I'm looking at here. But they have 5 on the active roster, which if you include Drake Jackson. That's his name, right?
I forgot. Yeah, Drake Jackson. But I wasn't thinking about him. I thought I was thinking of somebody. I thought I saw somebody. But you got Drake Jackson, right? So, like, when we do this in the offseason, we're going to be doing a 90 first, right? Because a lot of these guys you might see coming back, for competition or whatever. But I don't, like, we'll have, maybe green for the 53 and then, like, I don't know, blue or something for the 90 body, and then maybe brown or something for like practice squad or whatever, something like that, and kind of keep it like weekly looking at it and making changes all the way up to the final 53. But who's some guys you want to bring back, Ceelo?
All right, so I think I want Mariota back.
Okay.
I struggle with that because he's going to be expensive.
I forgot about him.
What was that? What did you say, DT?
I said I forgot about him.
Oh, okay.
Because look, think about this when it comes to Mariota, right?
And that Johnson boy, man.
Like the first few games is what you want from a backup quarterback.
Agreed.
That's what you want, right? Like
Agreed.
2-3 games right there. That's it. That's what you want him to be. Anything more than that you asking from him, like you can't be mad. It's a reason why he's a backup quarterback and not a starting quarterback. But yeah.
I would go. He's one of my favorites, and I was wrong about him, but I like Jonathan Jones. As a depth guy, just a depth guy. I don't know if you need to include this, but Tressway, I think that's just, to me, that's a no-brainer. If he doesn't want to retire, I bring him back as why not? That's Chris Paul. That's my 3 or 4.
We all at with Debo, and we gonna get out of here. We gonna cut it. We all at with Debo.
I like Debo. Love his personality, everything. I think the problem is, for the longest time, we have not had a wide receiver 2. And Debo, to me, is not a wide receiver 2.
Yep.
he is a wide receiver 3/weapon/gadget player, wherever you got the definition for it. He's played admirably well despite the circumstances with the injuries in the room. But we also know when he is banged up, you can tell the difference in his burst. And he's more of a, obviously we've seen it, he's more of a bowling ball running back in open field than like
A bowling ball running back is insane.
what's a guy that's like, we don't have a guy that's like extreme yak. Like, he's a yak guy, but he's not someone that can run 60 to 80 yards and not get caught. We don't have that. We need
You don't
more.
think Jayden Lang can be that?
Look, this is what we not listen.
Oh,
Listen.
so I'm not. I think he's good as a wide receiver 4 or 5.
Listen. on any of the riddle programs this off season, we're not doing the if thing. If you ain't show it, you can't do it yet. If they ain't give you the opportunity, you can't do it. Because there's so many people literally right now that's getting ready to board a plane Friday or Saturday. Next week. For Orlando flag football national championships that all have the same excuse that they didn't get a chance or the opportunity. We can't do that, bro. No more, man.
So my only issue with Debo, I agree with DT. I actually like Debo as a player. I think he's a great locker room dude. I just like his energy. And despite being banged up, he seems to always show up. I think he only missed one game. My issue with Debo, he will be 30 years old. I looked at his market value, if it's true, which is going to be surprising if someone does this, but his market value is $20 million. We have 30 plus people to re-sign or to fill, not re-sign, but to fill roster spots, like 30 roster spots to fill. I think Debo is a luxury at this point. He's going to help a team he should help a team that's kind of already kind of there. He could just sort of be like a sort of an addition to an established wide receiver room. I would prefer someone younger, either the draft or free agency, and I can help build that room and build camaraderie with Jayden. I just think we're in the room. I think this whole roster is built in a weird way to where it's built as if we're already there. So we added Von Miller, we add Debo. Oh yeah, that's all we needed. That's not who we are. We needed wide receiver 1, not wide receiver 3, in my opinion. So and I think Deuce, you said that we need a wide receiver 1, and have Terry be wide receiver 2. Like, that's what we need to reset this roster, bro. We're not in a position to go and get a Von Miller when we don't even got a starting DN. So, and a Von Miller is like $8 million. So why are we going to get a Von Miller? That's you just ate up 1/10 of your cap on the 53rd guy. So that's kind of where I am. I think we need to reset the room in its entirety, and that's one example. Debo, I love him. I just don't think it's a fit at this point.
Joe's Mason Final Four run is insane.
Phillip Rivers,
but that's a good point though, Gus. Like, and what Ceelo was saying, like, we got these guys and they're too close to the top of the position group. Like, they're older and they're too close to the top. Right, like Dietrich Wise is D and the starting D in. Right, like he's too close to the top. Go ahead, we say DT.
Sure, amazing.
Looking, bro.
Who?
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's tied up 14.
That is crazy work.
Speaking of age,
we done missed out.
Hey, someone said who we should call who. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, Heineke.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
okay.
I'm glad I ain't in spaces no more. I had to endure that, boy. I've been no good, bro.
But yeah, man, like Debo. Remember coming into the year, I was like, I think that we're gonna see a lot of touches early in the first quarter of the year, And then, as it gets to the halfway point, it'll start to diminish a little and pick back up. Because we didn't expect him to get as many touches, but because people was hurt, he ended up getting a lot of touches. Then look what happened. He ended up getting injured, and he hasn't really shown that explosiveness since. And you need him to be that third or fourth guy. And not just in the wide receiver room, but as far as touches, right? And we should do that when we look at offense and the depth charts and stuff, is to go by touches, right? Wide receiver 3 or 4, how many touches do you think they're getting a game, right? How close are they to, the impact as far as the offense? And Jake Moody, you could bring him back. He made everything inside of 30 yards. See, last year in the preseason, y'all laughed at me when I said I was kicking field goals as soon as I touched the 40, no matter what down it was, to make sure that we got the right kicker. But here we go, another off season. I want at least 3 kickers going into OTAs. I want at least 3 kickers at OTAs. What's up, Marcus? How you feeling, man? Yep, Drake Jackson, Treylon Burks. I've been taking to the streets. Yeah, bring back Heineke, man. It's only work with Scott Turner. Scott Turner ain't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
But that's probably the last thing this fan base need is hope right now. So I think that's about it, man. Tomorrow, we're going to start the the film sessions Tuesday. Try to do a 9:30. It's going to be on webinar format. I'm going to be on YouTube also at the same time. I'm going to try to run. Have we done 2 streams at the same time before, DT?
I'm not sure.
Oh, no. I want to try it and see if it works.
I need to try and see.
Yeah. I don't know if you got a couple minutes afterwards. So because we can't play
afterwards, just letting you know.
What'd you say?
I don't have a couple minutes afterwards. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, it's okay. Let's get right. We don't want to slow nothing up. We don't want no problems before Thursday. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Appreciate your time. Your time is very valuable to spend it with us. We absolutely appreciate it. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. So be here tomorrow. I'll probably go live earlier that day, but I'm also going live and go over the tape. We can watch the Eagles game. It might take 2 hours, might take 3 hours. We'll go over it. We're going to look at it. We're going to try to do that for all the games as the weeks continue. So stay in there with me, man. We appreciate. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Next show, we might got some big news. I don't know. It depends what happens. Right? Peace, man.